Good evening, everyone. Eureka is off. I'm Mark Strassman. Tonight, President Biden has the milestone legislative victory he desperately wanted and needed heading into November's midterms. And naturally, it didn't come easy. First, polarized senators pulled an all-nighter. They started debating Saturday and kept arguing before finally voting. And then late today, with Vice President Kamala Harris casting the tiebreaker, Democrats passed the president's economic agenda that had been left for dead. It's a mix of climate change spending, lowered health care costs, and raised corporate taxes. Also today, the president left the White House for the first time in more than 2 weeks since he first tested positive for COVID. He'll head tomorrow to tour Kentucky's flood damage and said today he's feeling great. CBS's Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill for us. Natalie?
Mark, the president acknowledged that this bill required compromises, but it includes some of his top policy goals. The legislation now heads to the U.S. House for a vote there, expected later this week.
Great win.
After a marathon weekend session that started more than 24 hours ago and ended in a major legislative win for Democrats.
The vice president votes in the affirmative.
Vice President Kamala Harris delivered the tie-breaking vote to pass the climate, health care, and tax bill known as the Inflation Reduction Act through an evenly divided Senate.
I think it was a historic vote.
It's an Inflation Increase Act.
But the final vote didn't come before 11th hour negotiations over a key tax provision in the legislation, a 15% minimum tax on large companies.
And I encourage my colleagues to support this amendment and help ensure that our nation's small and medium-sized businesses aren't hit with a misguided and entirely inappropriate $35 billion tax hike.
Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema once again forced a deal with Senate Democrats to move forward. The last-minute drama followed a vote-a-rama on dozens of other amendments. Do you think there are going to be any changes in the House?
No, I expect it to have smooth sailing.
Senate Democrats say the legislation, which represents an historic investment in climate, will lower energy costs, providing tax credits to those who buy green and manufacturers who build it. They also argue it will reduce health care costs, especially for seniors, and allow Medicare to negotiate down high-priced prescription drugs. Since this could take a while to implement, when will people see and feel the impacts?
Some of the things they'll find quite quickly, and some of the things will take a longer time.
You know, Natalie, as Democrats celebrate, there's trouble on another front following Speaker Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. China's furious, and for 4 days, it's been carrying out war games immediately off the island's coast, dozens of warships and planes. So is the Biden administration worried about how far Beijing will go?
Well, Mark, the administration has said it expected China to take actions like this, but also notes they raised the risk of miscalculation. The White House says the U.S. does not want a crisis, but is also prepared for what Beijing chooses to do.
Natalie Brand, thank you.